All right, UFC featherweight contender Calvin Kattar. Thank you for joining me, man. I know it's fight week, 3 times the charm. Does it feel like any other fight week right now?
It's just been a long camp. So other than that, yeah, fight weeks to fight weeks. I think the world's getting an idea of what we go through. Self-isolation and social distancing to the max right now. Everyone's kind of in a fight camp of their own.
Who are the essential personnel, so to say, that's heading to Florida with you?
So right now we got Rob Font, my teammate, Coach Tyson Chartier, Coach Carlos Neto, and that's it, man, right now. But a couple other guys behind the scenes help me get prepared. Wrestling coach John Dupree and Muay Thai mitt holder Jake Manini. So core group of guys helping me out get ready. Now we're about 6 days away till showtime.
The last couple weeks, have they loosened things up a little bit? Have you been able to get into the gyms and work out in a good environment?
I mean, we have a mainstay that we've been going to, but it's closed to the public, and it's a tight-knit group of guys going in, and we're all being very careful with how we're handling things, outside of the gym, so this way we don't bring anything inside. And when we get there, pre-post gym workouts, we're sanitizing, we're showering, changing clothes, treating it like as if a nurse coming back from the hospital. We're all trying to just do the things we can control and still keep moving forward and getting in the work.
Basically, you're living like you said, a nurse or a doctor. You're like a doctor out there at the gym.
Yeah, except we're not running into the front lines where they are. Not to say we're as compromised, and hats off to them. For the work that they're doing right now. It's pretty incredible. They're actually seeing the patients. For us, we're dodging them in an isolated gym and then going back to the comfort of our own home. So, definitely a little different, but we treat it as if, trying to take all the precautionary measures to the max right now for sure.
Any weird interactions? This self-quarantine and social distancing has gotten people weird. You see it online all the time. Have you had any crazy interactions with people at the grocery store or anything like that?
I mean, shit, there's always weird interactions, right? Even now it's funny, like you go for a jog down the street and then, you kind of coming up next to someone now because everyone's on the damn street, or, you try to find spots where not everyone's going to be, but now everyone's kind of weirded out running into little foot traffic on the routes, and they're all kind of like, it's pretty funny. Kind of a lot of like Larry David moments where people are getting, up close and not really knowing how, like, the right way to act, especially saying hi or bye to people. That's the weirdest shit now. Elbow taps maybe is respectful, but what the fuck's an elbow tap? It's like, if we're elbow tapping, you might as well be fucking hugging. So it's like, yeah, hi, bye. You're trying to be respectful but not rude. What are you going to do? It's kind of a lot of situations like that for sure.
Yeah, that is funny. You might have to just go the Asian style, just start bowing to everybody all the time.
Yeah, I'm gonna start bowing to everybody this week. That's awesome. 100%. I'm a bow. I that.
I want to know, man. I want to know how everybody reacts during fight week when you're bowing to everybody from like 7 feet away.
I'm going to bow. I'm going to start saluting and bowing.
Definitely. Now, you're fighting Jeremy Stephens, of course, a tough guy, a guy that's been around for a long-ass time. If you really checked his record, his resume, it's like, damn, he's been around for so long. Is there a beef there with you and him? Is there something going on there?
No, I try not to give these guys too much energy like that. There's a beef, then there's a problem, It's not a problem until we step in there. If they want one, I don't really care to carry the beef outside of the the fight. But where it's at with him, people are saying definitely he's a vet. He's been in the game a long time. He's fought a lot of stiff competition, but I've been in the game arguably just about as long. Maybe not as fought title contenders like he has to the amount of the tough competition he's had, but. All the same, man. I've been in the sport a long time, man. I feel like I'm just starting to get my dues, and a win over Jeremy, man, would be huge. He's like you said, he's a vet in the game. He's fought a lot of tough guys, and I would definitely like to add that win on my resume.
Fight week there's some emotions there. You know, face-offs are emotional. There's all kinds of stuff going on, but maybe there might not be any face-offs, or maybe there'll be face-offs, but you're 10 feet from each other. That's gonna be weird.
Yeah, that's a little weird. I didn't think of that. And if we do the weigh-ins, I feel like shit. Might as well put the weigh-ins on ESPN. There's nothing else on right now, right?
Yeah.
Why not? Just tape the whole damn, tape us walking into the hotels, put it on ESPN. There's not anything else going. I think I saw Cherry spitting the other day on ESPN, a competition championship.
Oh,
They're
shit.
spitting cherry pits. And people are watching the craziest shit nowadays. They're all dying for sports to be back, and I'm happy that we're the first show in town. You know, back on schedule.
Yeah, man, it's history in the making. You know, Dana White and the UFC, they got some big balls. You gotta respect that.
Yeah. I mean, you don't grow the company how he did without having big balls, man. You hear some of the stories he took on, you know, in the earlier days, with just his position the company was in and taking the risks he took. You don't get there by making, you know, small moves and small decisions. He went against what a lot of people thought, and sometimes that works out for you, sometimes it doesn't. And either way, for right now, I'm grateful to have that opportunity and that he's putting his neck on the line to, you know, host the event for us, but only in Florida, right?
Yeah. When you always hear about Florida, you know, the Florida man and everything crazy always happens in Florida, but now it's a positive thing.
Yeah, they're gonna look back. They're gonna say a Florida man fights in a cage during pandemic back in 2020.
Now Stevens, he's difficult to finish. The last time he was finished was by Jose Aldo, a legend. Do you look at that fight and say, hey, those are the vulnerabilities that I'm looking at?
Yeah, it was something to be said. You know, he touched him to the body, and you know, guys that are tough to finish to the chin. I mean, I feel like no one's immune to a good body shot drop. You know, to get dropped by a good body shot. But I think really when going for a finish, you can't look for it. It's just got to present itself. It's got to happen organically. And like I usually use the analogy, you know, you don't just chop down a tree with one hack. You got to work that thing out. You got to chop that shit down. So, yeah, I'm prepared to go 1 round or 3 rounds, you know, however it's got to work. But I won't be looking for anything. I'll just take what presents itself and let the fight happen organically.
Definitely some Paul Bunyan style, right?
Yeah, you got to take out the trunk, right? Start from the legs to the body and then take the chin out. But yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that. We're kind of all on our Rocky shit right now at the workout, so pretty fitting.
Yeah. Well, you know, a lot of people, they say, or a lot of fighters, they say that they have the best boxing in MMA. How would you rank yourself amongst the best boxers in MMA?
I let the public and the critics all kind of talk about that shit. You know, for me, I just keep my head down, stay busy at work, and let them say what they're gonna say either way, and use it to drive me one way or the other. You know, let them talk shit, drive me, and or let them, you know, say good things and let me try to prove them right. Either way, that's not for me to kind of think about. You know, at least not that in this point in time. I'm still working on making my name and putting some respect on it, and then I'll let the critics kind of, you know, determine where I stand in the mix. I let my fight do the talking, you know?
Yeah, it's all hype. It's all hype. Now, what do you feel gives you the edge against Stevens outside of the boxing?
You know, as much as I don't show it, I'm a well-rounded fighter, you know, and I have that in my toolbox, and with Jeremy, I feel like I feel comfortable wherever the fight goes. I know he takes that knockout power in the 3rd round, but so don't I. You know, I got 3rd round finishes too, and it's gonna make for a good fight. You know, the crowd's gonna be empty. The arena's gonna be empty. Crowd's gonna be at home, so we'll be able to it'll be a different vibe, different feel, but fight nonetheless, and we'll be ready to go either way, for, you know, whatever circumstances.
How far in the rearview mirror is the Zabit fight? Does it still play a factor in your training? Does it motivate you, or is it something that you erase from your mind and you're just moving forward?
I take what I can from it. I move forward, but you definitely don't like to forget. You know, I'm always evolving, always adapting. I prefer to learn off wins, but you know, in the last one, take what I can from it, move on, and Jeremy's number 7. I'm number 9. A win over him puts me a lot closer to all these guys, and make mental notes for when I run back into them again. You know.
Speaking of the rankings, a lot of the guys that are ahead of you, they don't live or train in the U.S., which could be an advantage with all this quarantine stuff going on and travel bans and events not being able to be thrown outside of the U.S. It's very beneficial for yourself even after this fight. Do you see that?
I mean, not if you're looking to fight on Fight Island. You know, I gotta fight one of them to get on it, because I hear only the international guys are getting those opportunities. But yeah. I'm looking at this opportunity to get a step up on all the competition. Yeah, I mean, regardless of how things play out, more so the guys that are sitting back and taking this time to enjoy themselves and self-indulge, or, you know, maybe, you know, sit back, ease back a little bit, spend time with their families, which I get. But right now I'm on a different, you know, mental state. I'm hard at work, and I'm looking to get a leg up on the competition, while everyone might see this as an opportunity to sit back and relax.
I saw, I was reading through some Instagram stuff on your, you know, on your page, and I saw some fans, you know, do you read the comments? Because sometimes I see fans, they're like, oh, I'm your fan, but I want to tell you, you need to do this and you need to do that. Do you read?
Yeah,
do you laugh at that?
Yeah. I definitely. So every now and then I'll try to, you know, I'll tune in on my buddies to tell me some shit someone said. And a lot of it's, you know, just some bullshit. Oftentimes it'd be funny if I put my eyes on them and try to critique them on what they do every fucking day, you know. But I don't pay too much mind to it. I throw up a post up. I do it more to, you know, to inspire the people that are looking and want to, you know, be where I'm at, or trying to be active and do some of the things I'm doing, or it just take the positive message from it. But every now and then a hater will give you just as much motivation, so you might, you know, tune in. But I don't really feed back to it, other than, you know, take from it and then get some good output in the gym, laughing at some of the shit these guys say. It's pretty funny. I'll tell you what, man, when you start leveling up, so don't your haters and the internet trolls. They start coming with some, like, they used to locally not make much sense, you know, but now some of these guys got some decent fucking arguments. You know, they actually they study the game, and you're like, damn, this guy's like a pretty knowledgeable troll. You know, this guy knows his shit.
Sometimes I think it's like fighters that have like these burner accounts, and they're just like messing with the other fighters sometimes because they know a lot.
Who the hell has the time to make a burner account? You know, I could barely even get enough posts out on my normal one and try to be, you know, as responsive on that as I can. And I think I do a shitty job. To have the time to get a burner account, I'd be on social media way too much, man. It's that'd be incredible.
Yeah, man. One last thing, Gronkowski. Come on, Gronkowski follows Brady to the Bucks and unretires. Like, what is the level of blasphemy? I don't even know. Like, what is the level of anger? Do you have anger because of this? Like, come on. Like, I'm a big football fan. Outside of fighting, football is my life. So
yeah. Well, you know, I get Brady doing his thing. Believe it or not, you know, I respect it. He's a cleaner, and he didn't see what he wanted, you know, in the Patriots right here for his setup. And it takes a lot of balls to make that move too, like you're talking about with Dana White. You know, it takes balls for him after 2 decades successfully in New England to not just retire here, but go and try to get one more. And if it's not with the Patriots, it's, you know, with the Bucks. But you know, around here we like to call them the New England Buccaneers now, with all their recent transactions. You know, but yeah, it should make for an interesting season. My hope is that the season doesn't even kick off, and Tampa Bay got to sit on these 2 gems for a whole year thinking that they're Super Bowl bound this year.
I'm just wondering what's going to happen when Tom Brady and Gronkowski actually go to Gillette and play against the Patriots. That's just going to be one hell of a day.
I know, man. I love good competition, though. That's why we love sports, you know, and I think that'll be an interesting game. And, yeah, I would love to see that, honestly, at this point, right? I'd love to see anything at this point as far as sports is concerned. And, you know, lucky for us, we get to kick things off May 9th.